Meanwhile, outside the Global Repatriation Council...
Honey, just sit down. It'll be okay. I can't believe you're not Captain America anymore.
Those fools.
It's kind of one of the big reasons I was attracted to you, but I guess we'll stay together.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm still attractive.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean physically, but, you know, emotionally, I kind of was really into the whole power dynamic. Who's that coming up?
I met this lawyer. We went out to dinner. I had the lobster bisque. We went back to my place, yada, yada, yada. I never heard from him again.
Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you.
So you think you're sponge-worthy?
Am I sponge-worthy? What is that?
I
don't think that's...
speechless.
I don't know how that's...
Now, hold on, just what... Who are you?
You can't spare 3 squares?
Spare a square? Of course I can spare a square. I understand what you mean.
Right. Do you want something from us?
Get out!
Ow! You don't have to push me like that. What is wrong with you, crazy lady?
You're through, Soup Nazi. Back it up. No more soup for you.
Oh, here's her card.
What does it say?
It says... Elaine?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 176 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. I am your host, Brett, and with me, as always, is Contessa Evelana Jefferana Legasaga.
Jefferana, hey!
Jefferana Legasaga. Did anyone ever call you that?
Jefferana? No.
Jefferana Legasaga?
No.
Well,
They used to call me, what was my female name? Oh, Jeffries.
Jeffries. Jeffries.
That was like my lady name.
Ooh.
For a while, though, I did try to get people to call me Fry, like going by Jeffrey, the end of my name, like Topher.
Oh. Is that like a Futurama thing?
No, I just wanted to be cool and different. I also tried.
Okay.
No one went with it. Everyone was like, I remember there was a point I was like, I think everyone just started calling me Fry. And everyone was like, no. And then I remember in high school, I was like, everyone just call me Jay. And everyone was like, no.
I once, I think, I don't know who brought it up, but agreed with a friend that my nickname would be Gotno because my last name sounds like Manners. And so he would call me Got No Manners. That did not last. Did not last. My high school friends, though, I was one of the only non-Jews among my high school group. And they called me Manischewitz as a nickname.
But you're not Jewish.
Because my last name's Manis. No, it was an ironic nickname.
I only had one nickname that stuck,
curly.
and it was from this show. When Steve started calling me EJ or Evil, and then a whole group of people.
Did Steve make that up?
No, I made that. I was like, oh, just call me Evil Jeff on the show.
Oh,
but then Steve just called me that.
Like referred to you as Evil.
He was always like, hey Ej, hey EJ. Mm-hmm. And then a whole group of people that I met through you started calling me that. And then I just started going by that. And then because I lived with the Jeff at the time, then it was like, oh, well, that's Jeff, and then you can just be EJ. And so by the end of Chicago, more people called me EJ. And then I moved to LA, and then and then because I was taking improv classes, and they were like, go by the role, and it was like, you're Jeff. And then I kind of just like fell back in. It was one of those things of like, should I be EJ? Or should I just...
like when I moved to my new city, I'll just be Jeff. You chickened out.
I did, but it was like so weird.
You could have had a whole life as EJ.
It was the whole thing of like, EJ, well, what does that stand for? Evil? What? It's not the best way to make friends.
No, that's true. My name's Evil. Okay.
I remember I used to go by EJ on my dating profile.
Yeah.
And someone blocked me after I told him what EJ stood for.
Really? Oh, you didn't want to date them anyway.
Yeah, they apparently... I was like, I'm not... It's like funny evil, not like real evil.
Don't you get it? I do a comic book podcast. Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. You thought I'd murder you. I get that.
Oh. Well, what fun. This is episode 176, as we already stated. We're going to be focusing a lot on TV this episode.
Yes.
It was in our X-Men bookland. It was what we call a light week in terms of what titles came out. We will,
Or I would
save
call
those titles for next
A
week.
snooze fest?
Oh, stop!
No, they weren't. Well, one of them wasn't that bad.
It was Children of the Atom and Wolverine, and so we're just going to skip them. But there is some big X-Men news, which we would like to talk about. So why don't you hit it?
What are you gonna pick?
Hot topics.
All right, buckle your fucking safety belts.
Buckle your face.
Buckle your face, because this is the newest, because I will say this, throughout all of Hickman's runs and all of these new post House of X runs, it hasn't been other than maybe X Factor, there isn't oh, here's a definitive team. People just show up, even in Excalibur, there's always all these other people showing up. In X-Force, a bunch of different people have been main players. The X-Men group,
yeah.
the X-Men comic.
It's loose at best.
This is the first time where I feel they've been no, here is a roster.
These other people on the team.
This is the team. This is the public face now of the X-Men. Let's get a drum roll. Brrr. Who are the X-Men? Let's go through them. Let's examine them each one by one. Professor Plum.
So we have the new X-Men lineup, Jerry Duggan's X-Men team. And so we'll start with our lead character, right?
Well, two. I think it's the Cyclops and Jean.
Two. It's Cyclops and Jean, a.k.a. Scott and Marvel Girl.
Scott and Marvel Girl, Cyclops and Marvel Girl.
Do you understand leading an X-Men team is our kink?
Yeah.
And Xavier's yes, I know. I know. So go ahead.
They're just the threesomes with Wolverine are getting old hat. We need something else to spice it up.
So they can have threesomes with a new Wolverine.
Yes.
Scott and Jean
We
can.
do have a new Wolverine. And can we just say, did you hear rumors about this, or did you just, out of pure intuition, call that Sync and Wolverine would be?
Pure intuition.
Look at this.
As soon as they dropped that soapy relationship, I'm well, you two are definitely on the team. If he's I've been in love with you for centuries, I don't know who you are, you're definitely on the X-Men.
Oh my God, don't you hate it when you've dated someone for centuries and then they don't fucking remember you? It's the worst.
Story of my 20s. So we have Sync, which, hello, to have Sync as an A-list X-Man, yes.
I know, right?
My God.
But here's the interesting thing
so long.
is and then now we're going to have Rogue.
If
we also remember how Rogue's powers have evolved.
Yeah, she can just suck them right out of you too. She doesn't need to touch you.
She can just be around you and use the powers. What? But Rogue still has permanent strength and flight, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Eventually, was it from Power Man that she got those from?
It was from Wonder
Man, right.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
It used to be from Carol Danvers, now it's from Simon Williams.
From Uncanny Avengers. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have, I just find that this is the first time where we have two power suckers.
We have two power suckers who are sucking each other's powers too.
But if you think about it, but Rogue
is.
knocks the person out when you're using the powers, and Sync does not.
Yeah. What happens when Rogue takes Sync's powers and vice versa?
Oh, I bet you something really weird and fucked up is going to happen.
Yeah, I can't wait. Especially with the whole idea of mutant circuitry and combining powers. I'm fascinated by this whole thing.
But can you imagine where it's just we need 3 telepaths. Okay. We need 3 I-beams. Okay. We need 3 invulnerabilities.
Power suckers.
Yeah. And now who are the other? It's just we're missing 2 others that we haven't mentioned yet.
Yes. So our winner of our contest, Polaris.
Polaris, how do you feel? Polaris won. How do you feel?
I feel great about it.
I will say this. I feel like it was just stacked in her favor. She was just way too well known.
She was on TV
compared to all of the other people that were in the running. So it just seemed a little unfair. for that. But I love Polaris. But do you think she's going to be taken off X Factor, or is she going to just be on both?
I think she'll be taken off X Factor, and I have somebody who I'd like to replace her. And
that's right, Dazzler.
I think she'll Dazzler, yeah. I think that she will only be on the X-Men.
Okay.
But I think that Jerry Duggan is going to be very true to the path that Leah Williams has set Polaris on, this path of self-discovery. Yeah. Like, of course Jerry Duggan is going to pick up that ball.
Well, I mean, that's especially if you were just elected to be on an X-Men team, that's totally fits with her whole entire shit that she's been going through.
She's like, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to like rediscover myself. No, girl, you're going to be on the X-Men.
And then we have newly resurrected, although I guess technically, how many people have just been resurrected?
Oh, they're all newly resurrected.
I mean, Wolverine was resurrected, Polaris was just resurrected, and Sunfire was just resurrected. He is the last person on the team. Sunfire!
What a surprise!
Japanese,
one
of the first X-Men. Of the new generation of X-Men. He was on the team, but he left the team because he had attitude problems.
Yes, he is one of my many beloved mutant men with attitude problems.
I will say this, though. North Star, they were able to give North Star the depth of like why he is the way he is. And I feel that Sunfire has never been given that moment. Yeah. I feel like his whole personality is... I'm just a bitch. I would like to know why.
I would like a male bitch team consisting of Sunfire, North Star, Quicksilver, Dr. Nemesis, Quentin Quire. Would love that team for me.
Wait, what would it be called?
It would be called Excuse You?
Oh my god. That has to happen.
It would be called Excuse Us.
Oh my god. And they would be like the most annoying team in the world. People would be like, oh shit.
I love it. Give me that book, Marvel. Give me that book. Just people going all the time.
But that's interesting. Let's just analyze just really quick before we move on from this. Do we feel that this is a good power set? Because I do feel there is one thing missing. There is one power set that's missing that's always on a team.
Super speed?
Super strength.
Super strength.
There's always a Colossus. I mean, I guess Rogue. Rogue, I guess, has super strength. Yeah, never mind. Okay, I guess Rogue counts.
Yeah, Rogue, y'all. God, I love Rogue. I love Rogue being on the X-Men. I love that for her.
Yeah.
She's iconic. They have her in the iconic X-Men the Animated Series costume to start. Oh my God. Can I just say this? There's so much bitching about people's costumes on Twitter. And it's like, find a real problem. And it's also like, what part of Hickman saying, like, those are their mutant clothes, they're always going to be wearing, like, all of their costumes, all of their uniforms? Like, why couldn't fandom swallow that goddamn pill? Like, relax. All costumes are on the table.
What are people mad about?
Jeans, skirt. Rogue's 90s outfit.
Who cares? But that's the thing. They'll wear a different one another.
They'll wear a different one another time.
Who gives a shit?
I, for one, am thankful for the gallery.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
I can't wait. So, do you know what?
Yes.
I will say this. When they showed the comic panel of Polaris winning in those like little comic panels they were doing on social media, the last panel is Banshee getting shots for all of the losers. Yeah. And I'm like, this looks like a team. Like, I would read this book.
The Losers.
And now I'm like, ooh, could Leah Williams' book be The Losers?
The Losers. Or they could be called The Nevers.
The Nevers, which we'll talk about later. Yes, hit it.
Someone who'll watch superhero sci-fi stuff with me.
All right, we're skipping.
We have a little TV.
We're just going to move on to TV because we have so much TV that we need to kind of discuss. And I am going to say right now we're going to discuss something that's been for years in the making. It's been years been in development. A show that I was excited for called The Nevers, and this is.
It has. It was.
Yeah, I mean, this has been going on since like 2017. Like, what else has Joss Whedon been doing?
Why does shit take him so long?
I don't know.
Did this have drama too?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
why is he such a fucking mess?
Here's the deal. This is one where here's a show that came out, and it came out right at the same time that the producer, director, writer, showrunner has been canceled. And canceled for not doing, a lot of times it's usually due to racism or sexual, like a Me Too moment. His is, he is just more of an Ellen thing. He's a mean
it's like a Scott Rudin
bully.
thing.
Exactly. He's mean. He's a bully. He likes to make people cry. He basically told Charisma Carpenter to get an abortion. The people on the event on the Justice League were like, we don't like what's going on here. And he's like, you can all suck my dick. I'm the director now, and you all must bow down to me. I'm going to make Wonder Woman cry. He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
What is it about assholes, though? It's the same thing where it's like Woody Allen, awful human being. Damn, he can write a woman. He can write amazing female characters. Fucking Joss Whedon. Okay, well, let's give a 1, 2, 3. Liked it, hated it. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Loved it. I loved it.
Oh, really? Okay. No, I liked it a lot. It felt like I wish it was a little bit more unique. I wish it was it had more of like oh, that's cool. Oh, that's like, it just felt like more of the same. I did like the end of episode 1 though.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. I will
just say and here's the thing. If you all think Joss Whedon is awful, that is a whole separate topic. But he's a good writer, and he really knows how to write a pilot, and he really knows how to introduce characters and introduce plot.
He does.
And he's not doing it in this over-explainy way. And that's the thing, is I was reading review because it's been poorly reviewed. And so I started reading reviews like, am I just missing this? Why do I think this is good and everyone else thinks it's bad? And it really is. People don't like him, so they're shitting on the show. And that's the thing, is like, is that fair? Is it fair to shit on a show just because the showrunner is an asshole?
You know what? I say yes, and here's why.
Okay.
If you're gonna act like that, that's some diva bullshit. So you better have the output to match that behavior. You better have, like, if you're gonna act like that, what you spin better be gold. And I'd say this is more like silver?
Yeah. It's not as transcendent as like Firefly.
Correct.
But for me, watching like Jack the Ripper era women being fucking badasses with superpowers, like, I'm here for that. This is all of the time.
It's like, I'm watching this, I'm like, wait, this is X-Men.
Yeah.
This is X-Men, and it's steampunk, and it's ladies.
Yeah, steampunk lady X-Men. Which
right.
is like,
of course I'm gonna
is
like
that the most
show.
original thing? No. But do I want to see more of it? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just this is my thing, is I'm hoping the fact that he saw the writing on the wall and left the show. I hope that people like the fact that he left the show. How about we give it a chance? Because there's a lot of great performances and actresses. Yes. 2 weeks before all of these news articles, he stepped down.
Oh, wow.
From the show completely.
He stepped away.
And he said it was for personal reasons, but more like, I see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, like his presence now would just add, like, that's what he is now. Like, how could you work with someone like that?
And I think, and this is the one thing where I am pissed off that the idea that the quality of a show on its own can totally be destroyed just because of something the producer did that has nothing to do with kind of the actual, like, what's inside the show. Remember when Meg Ryan had an affair with Russell Crowe and then her whole movie flopped because people were like, how dare you? I always find those types of things weird. But at the same time, I do feel that I do love the idea that in Hollywood, you can't be a tyrannical asshole anymore. Like, that's no longer allowed. And I'm actually like, good. Because I have been in some jobs, maybe I'm in a job right now, where there are some people that, some heads of people that are a little like, okay, you need to calm down. Like a little power crazy.
Are you talking about RuPaul?
No, please. Like, she doesn't talk to anyone. Like, I'm too low in the totem pole for ever to see.
Yeah.
But I have run into some like management people, like management supervisor sides people, where it's just like, you are not a god. Like, what is going on? Like the whole Scott Rudin thing, the stories I'm reading of this, where I'm like,
oh my God.
How did you get away with
who
this?
Were hospitalized.
He hospitalized interns. Like, how do you get away? Like, I'm glad that this is no longer acceptable in society.
Listen, girl, we're doing it right now. We have not said jack shit about the characters or plot of this show.
Yeah. But I will say it's cool characters. It's led by Mrs. True, because now it's an orphanage where it's
an orphanage
of girls that have been touched. And we don't know, in the beginning, we don't know why suddenly all these people are being touched. It seems to be mostly women, but there's a few men here and there that are touched too. I'm thinking they're the gay ones.
Yes.
Basically, if you like,
I'm hoping that's it. Like, if men are touched, they're gay.
Because so far, I will say, the doctor guy, he does not seem gay, but the brother guy, does seem gay. So who knows?
The guy who was in bed with a man and a woman.
Oh,
is that who you mean?
No, the brother of the woman in the wheelchair.
Yes,
he seems gay,
yes.
He's been touched.
He does seem gay.
But anyway, Mrs. True runs this orphanage where she's basically gathering up the people that have been touched, and they go to get a new girl that's like, they think she's speaking in tongues, but she's just speaking different languages. And then there's like these kind of evil bad guys that are trying to kidnap the touched girls and do experiments on them. And
so basically there's they find a mutant whose power is Douglas Ramsey, and they go to get her, and so do bad guys.
Yeah. And the one girl is Forge. She can make things. And Mrs. True, she is blind. Destiny. She can kind of see the future. And
she's a good fighter too. Like, I feel like, is there like some super strength happening as well?
Has some,
or like some super kicking.
Well, I will say she's doing things where it's kind of like, I don't know, because it's one of those things where she's like Callisto, where it's like she's at the top of, like, she's doing things.
And she's just like, she's really fit.
Yeah. And then we have a lady bad guy. Malady, a crazy woman who kind of hears the voice of God and is killing people.
It was this character and performance that kind of took it down a peg for me. Her, when the evil mutants take over the opera house and she does her monologue on the stage in front of the scared crowd.
I would say that was way too long.
Way too long. I was like, this is not good enough to be going on this long. It's real stupid, in fact.
And we do love those. She's kind of like, I guess, like the female Joker, or how crazy what Batwoman's nemesis, her sister, isn't she kind of crazy?
Alice. Yeah, she's pretty Alice-y. Yeah. I was like, she's like Typhoid
Mary. Yeah, that's what she looks like.
Yeah. And so they established there's this battle between kind of these good touched and these bad touched. The episode ends kind of with the origin of the touched.
It's the Terrigen Mist. The Inhumans come down
and we realize it's the Inhumans, it's not the X-Men. There's a giant alien-ish, steampunky, more alien-ish ship. For anyone playing Fortnite, the ship is the same kind of look as the Spire Assassin, the character you get at level 100. It's this ship that is crop dusting everyone with this like magical dust.
Alien
and
farts.
Certain people alien dust, and certain people are obviously affected. They pass out, they wake up, they have powers.
Yeah. And then clearly it looks like kind of like one of the head government people who's going to be a problem and an obstacle He seems to hate the touched people, and you find out at the end, oh, it looks like his daughter is touched. So I'm sure
died when she
Oh, did
was
she die?
touched. Yeah. I think she died.
Oh, I just assumed we didn't find. I'm assuming that she probably woke up and is disfigured or something. Or
Yeah, she became like a crab or something.
oh no, my daughter's a crab.
She has the body of a girl but the head of a crab.
Anyway, for me, it checked off all of the bells and whistles of like things that I find fun, and I'm excited to see more of this.
Exactly. It's our type of show. I just wasn't wowed. I went, okay, yep, that's a show about mutants.
I think I liked it because I really liked the performances of Mrs. True. I really do
like
I'm
Mrs.
really
True
digging
and
her.
the Forge type character,
Yeah.
the two headmistresses of the orphanage.
Yeah.
I like them. I like their relationship. I like their dynamic. Like, hello, Mrs. True. Hello, Mrs. Forge. And then they like hold hands with their
Devonshire.
parasols up and greet the orphans. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's on HBO
What other TV?
Max.
It's on that one is on HBO Max. There's another show in HBO Max, Evil Jeff, since we're on that platform. I am about 5 of 8 episodes in. You have seen the first one, and this show we're talking about is Made for Love.
Made for Love, starring Ray
Kristen
Romano.
Milioti and Billy Magnuson and Ray Romano, who's great.
Yeah. Okay, well let's
And this show, I think, is like a comedic. Oh,
let's
okay.
give a
You want
let's
to
do
do
a
1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3. All right. What do we think of Made for Love? 1, 2, 3.
Loved it.
it's like,
oh my God, I
meh.
love it.
I think for me, it's a little too Black Mirror episode-y for me. And
Yes.
I kind of just hit my peak. Like, I kind of hit my peak Black Mirror threshold. And so this whole, like, it's the future of technology, but the technology is bad. Like, I'm just
Yes.
over that premise. However, what's her name? Kristen Milioti. She's amazing, and the guy.
She's so great.
And that actor, he was in Kimmy Schmidt. He used to be on One Life. I used to
Magnuson.
watch One Life to Live, and he used to be on that. He's amazing too. And then Ray Romano
So
is
listen,
always.
they're from the same Black Mirror episode. They're from the USS Callister.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And I will say, wait, who was he in that one?
He's the guy. He was the guy who Jesse Plemons kept turning into Khan, like into the villain in the Star Trek reality.
Right.
Like he was like the Conqueror, and he was like, "Could you please stop?" Yeah, he was like the gym guy.
Yes.
In the office.
Yeah, and then Ray Romano's always good playing like anything opposite Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes.
So he's always the fact that the first thing I saw of him was him fucking a sex doll. I was like,
Yes.
that's fun. So this is one where it's like the performances are really great. It's shot really well. It's exciting. However, the premise I'm not down with, but I will keep watching it. I've only seen 1 episode, so I'm not like, oh, this is garbage, I'm not going to watch it. I'm just kind of tired of this premise. But it does look like.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain like what the premise is?
Yes. So, and I will say that it does go beyond the premise as the show goes on, and it dives more into the characters, and it becomes a much more digestible, wonderful show. But the premise is that Kristen Milioti is married to Billy Magnuson. Billy Magnuson his name is Byron Gogol. He has founded a tech company called Gogol that has pretty much taken over the world, like Google, and he has created a chip that he calls Made for Love, a microchip that when inserted into the brains of a couple, they share every single thought. So it's about merging two human
They become
brains.
Stepford Cuckoos.
Yeah, and so basically like you merge as one when you become a couple. And so the whole premise, and this is what they reveal at the end of episode 1, is that he secretly already put the chip in Kristen Milioti
But he doesn't have it in himself.
against her will. He doesn't have him. He does not have it in himself.
So basically,
although
he has complete access to all of her thoughts and visions and everything she can see.
So anything he sees, anything she sees, she hears, he sees, and he hears.
Oh, that's horrifying.
And she is on the run from him. And being on the run from somebody who sees your every move is difficult.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Horrifying. And
it becomes very fun and lighthearted.
okay, good. I think that was the other thing. It was just, this feels very like, oh my God, this is like, talk about trauma.
Yeah, it's a very dark comedy. Like, it starts to really become silly in good ways.
All right, that's good. Because a lot of these future things on Amazon, there was one with what's his name? What's the guy from Three's Company? His son,
John Ritter.
John Ritter's son, Jason Ritter.
Yeah, Jason
No,
Ritter.
was it Jason Ritter in it? Anyway, it was one where it's like you die and you go to heaven, but it's like kind of like San Junipero. Like they did another version of it.
Oh, the one with Stephen Amell's super hot cousin Robbie or brother.
Yeah, that's who
Robbie,
it was. I don't know
the
why I
one
thought that was
from
Jason Ritter.
Babysitter.
Yeah, they all look the same to me. White boys, oof, I can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
That one, I hated it. I hated that.
I can see that.
And so
I hated Utopia.
Oh, is that the one with John Cusack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just so sick of all of that. So if you're saying it spurs away from all of that stuff, then I'm.
Yeah, it does. Like it just becomes more. It's very much comedic Black Mirror. But the thing that makes Black Mirror is just how heavy and tragic it is sometimes, and it's not that.
Okay, good. I think that's in the end, my problem with Black Mirror eventually is like it was just too heavy-handed on the lesson that we're supposed to learn about.
Don't you get it? Like, no, yeah,
This is
we
the
got
world
it for
we're
5
heading
minutes. Thank
towards.
you.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't need this anymore. Especially like, and I will say, I'm a different person. What I watched pre-pandemic and what I watched post-pandemic, I was like, before the pandemic, I did not think, I was like, we are in a dystopia. Now that we live in a dystopia, I don't want to watch dystopia. It's just that's my thing now.
I mean, I'm even saying this, like, we're watching every single Oscar movie because we have access to all of them. And every single one of them is such a goddamn downer. Every single one. I mean, I know Bill Maher's an asshole and he was like, can't you make a good movie? A happy movie? And it's like, shut up. When you say it,
here's
no.
my thing.
But
I hate
would
though,
like
and
that.
I'm not saying that every movie has to be happy or every movie has to be sad, but I do hate the idea that a happy or comedic movie is somehow less worthy of an Oscar.
Right.
I hate the idea that it's like it has to be sad and it has to be dramatic. Especially like there's a good SNL sketch where it's like now nominated for all the best comedy awards, our new comedy. And it's like clearly a drama where everyone's dying or like, but they keep just calling it a comedy.
Yeah,
And
like The Martian on
I'm
the Golden
sick.
Globes.
I'm sick of that. I feel like sometimes comedy is so much harder to pull off.
Comedic acting is so much harder than dramatic acting.
Like,
anyone can be like,
Have
yo,
you seen
jerk off.
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar?
Oh, it's my favorite movie.
Like-
Are you kidding me?
Like nominate that
my
for
favorite movie.
No, me too. It was my favorite movie of the past 2 years. Like you need to that needs to be for the awards, not fucking Nomadland. I don't want to see Frances McDormand scowling as she barely makes it through life.
Honestly, Nomadland is like the most hopeful of all
I know,
of them.
right? But it's still like, but let's watch these people live really tough lives. No, I'm
Just
living
give
my
Barb
tough
and
life.
Star the Oscar. I know. Listen, I know I have a home, and I know that I don't have a farm that is destroyed, and like I know I don't have all these horrible tragic things that these movie has, but I have tragedy in my life too. Somebody make a movie about me.
I'm hanging by a thread.
I am doing a podcast that 3 people are listening to.
And the 3 of them aren't us. We don't even listen to this. Once we say this, it's gone.
I don't even know what the hell show. I don't even know what the show is about. Anyway, Made for Love, HBO Max.
Okay.
Keep watching it. It's great, and it becomes more about Zelda the dolphin than you think, which I love. Okay.
Let's move on to Amazon.
Yes, Amazon Prime, the jungles of Amazon.
And Amazon, we are going to talk about a show called Invincible. We talked about the first episode.
Invincible.
And we talked about how
We
I
did.
was very it's probably in the top like 5 of my favorite comics of all time. And so I was
I'd like to unpack that.
okay. Why? What is there to
Why?
unpack?
Why is it? I want to know why you love Invincible so much.
It's one of those. The character of Mark gets so deep and complex and real.
Okay.
And it's one of the
Okay.
few comics that really juggles the reality of him like trying to just live his life and at the same time trying to be a superhero. But there's also the things of like, there's a plot way in the future, which this series might not last long enough to ever get to, where
Okay.
where he's battling a bad guy and he loses and the bad guy nukes all of Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is turned to a sheet of glass and millions of people are killed. But
Wow.
the sheet of glass reflects enough energy that now all of America can go solar for free.
Oh.
And that was the villain's plan the entire time. And so in the end,
Oh, well,
is
he a villain?
but that's the thing of then Mark gets very confused of like, you killed millions of people, but now there's like free energy and it's just saving all these lives. There's weird things of like him being conflicted of like who is the bad guy, who isn't the bad guy. And the fact that it goes on, like the book went on for like 10 years for like 160 issues.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
never once got boring. Every arc was like wrought with tension and drama and character arcs. It's just all the characters are so fucking good. They're so good,
Yeah.
and the plot lines are just so.
It's-
But I will say the way the show is doing it, they're watering it down and not emphasizing on the right things. But
I gotta tell you, I feel like that's that Seth Rogen touch. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I like the way Seth Rogen is leading the interpretation and the translation of this material that I think is likely much better in the books.
And here's the thing: is I decided to go. I picked up the first omnibus, and I'm like, I'm going to go through this because I feel like it's following the plot,
Yeah.
like plot by plot. And I realized they are moving up some things. Like he doesn't date the girl till a little bit later. He doesn't meet his girlfriend till later. So there's things that are moved around. The character doesn't come out till gay till later. So some timelines are moved around, but every plot point in there is in the comic and they're following it to a T, which usually I'd be like, it's all in the comic. It's all in the comic. But he's taking away a lot of the personal character development. It's made a lot more maudlin and dramatic which is like in a weird way is watering it down.
Yeah.
It's a lot more matter of fact. Like in the comic book, it's very much like Dad just got sucked into another dimension. Ugh. Well, you want meatballs tonight? Like it's just like of this thing of where they're so used to like that type of thing happening but then you slowly see it withering away at them of like the madness of everything. And the other thing is the fact that Omni-Man is a bad guy. It's like about 12 issues before you find that out.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Yeah, they just cut to the quick on a lot of
so and I'm just
things.
wondering, but I will say it's a tricky thing for me because I can see how it's not done right and I can see why people wouldn't like it. Like my boyfriend is like, nope, I'm out, this is garbage. But for me, because it's following these plots and these characters that I like, I'm still enjoying it because I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen. Oh, I'm excited to see this animated. Anyway, so that's kind of so I feel I'm biased because of the comic.
I just feel like this show is not living up to the hype of Invincible, the series.
Yeah.
Like because I never read the book, so I watched the show and I'm like, is it because it was 15 years ago?
No, it definitely doesn't have the spark.
It's all in the execution.
But I will say I love doing this thing where this guy he basically compiles reaction shots of all the reactors reacting to big moments. Like I was doing it
Yes.
all through WandaVision of like people watching the big twists, and I've been doing it like with
Yes.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm already being like, you're Captain now. You're Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I basically watched a bunch of people reacting to Omni-Man killing
Yeah.
everyone, and a lot of people, and it was kind of fun watching like, oh, what would that be like of me not knowing that was going to happen? What would
Yeah.
that be like? But so I think it's good, and I feel it's not as good as The Boys. But if you just
Yeah, and I said that last
but if
time.
you want
is that
some good fun
Boys did better.
superhero stuff, it will definitely fill a little bit of that hole. I'll leave it at that.
Great voice talent too.
Well, Stephen Yeun, like Mark, great. Jillian, what's her name? Jillian Jacobs, is that her name?
Oh yeah.
As
from
Adam Eve.
Community.
Great.
Yeah,
Zoe
it's great.
Kravitz. Great. No, is that Zoe Kravitz? No, it's Domino.
Zazie
Beetz.
Yeah.
God, it was a Z.
Yeah.
I mixed up
My
my
neighbor.
Z's. Zazie Beetz. Great. J.K. Simmons? Awful.
Yeah,
What is
right?
going
Like,
on? He is
man,
phoning
like,
it
I
in.
expected.
Is he eating a sandwich
Right?
while he's reading these lines? Like, it's awful. I don't
Yeah,
get it.
I see that.
Anyway, Sandra Oh, great. Anyway.
Who? What was the character's name of the bad guy? So there's the Luke Cage type character
Yeah.
who was answering to that crime boss with the robot mask on. What's that character's name with the robot mask?
Oh, fuck. It's something head. I can't remember.
Machine Head? Okay, I wanted to know who. I'm looking at IMDb. I'm freaking out. I wanted to know who did the voice because I loved the voice of that character. And it is actually Jeffrey Donovan from Burn Notice, who is like one of my I am most attracted to actors.
Really? His eyes are too close
I don't
together
like-
for me.
I don't know what it is about Jeffrey Donovan. He drives me wild.
Really?
And I know there's so much better looking people out there, but when I look at Jeffrey Donovan, it's like my new one is Aaron Rodgers hosting Jeopardy. Lord, have mercy on
Aaron
my
Rodgers is a
soul.
football player?
It is. Yes, it is the
He
hottest
does have-
goddamn thing.
I do
And
have a
I'm
thing. I like
boy,
those
am I
puppy
so
dog, those
horny.
puppy dog eyes. He has those like.
Ooh, you should pour it into this suit, this big thick man reading these Jeopardy questions. Oh,
You're just like.
Anyway.
What is my heart on?
what? Oh, it's. I'm like love.
Well,
Jeopardy.
speaking of being
Jeffrey
attracted
Donovan.
to people, my
Yeah.
boyfriend just informed me that fucking the White Wolf, Winter Soldier, Bucky,
Oh,
is now
Monday?
at the top of his hall pass list.
Oh,
Like he literally, as of the last episode, he's like, yeah, he's the hottest person that I want to have sex with. I'm like, well, you and Brett can fucking fight over him. You fucking whore. No, I'm fine with it.
So, do you know that a movie, a rom-com, or like he's starring in, just dropped on Movies on Demand,
Do you see his butt?
and it's just a fuck fest. It's just about him meeting a girl, and they fuck all weekend, and then they have to like talk about whether they're going to be in a
What's it called?
relationship
What's
on
it called?
Monday.
Monday. Is it on Netflix? What's it on?
It's on Movies on Demand, so like Apple TV or Prime.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll have to tell
Yeah,
you.
it's just it.
Shit.
I read a review that's like the number of sex scenes is like enough sex scenes to fill 5 movies. I'm like, thank you.
There better be a butt shot.
Jesus.
There better be a butt shot.
Are you kidding me? There better be a shaft shot, okay?
A shaft shot. I need a shaft shot. Speaking of,
all right, so we
speaking
talked
of,
about- we're talking about
what's his name?
Winter Soldier.
Sebastian. What's his name?
Stan.
Speaking of Sebastian Stan's shaft,
Oh, he's so hot.
let's talk about some Falcon and the Winter
Yay!
Soldier.
Episode 5. Finally, the episode I wanted. Or episode 6? 5?
I'm gonna be honest
5.
with you. The tonality of this episode was all over the place.
How so?
I felt like I was like, what? It was like trying to tell like a deep race story, but then at the same time there was like these like battle montage, like I think it just came down to the exercise montages. I was like, what is happening? This
it was
does not fit in the show. I just felt like I felt like, and I will say, I felt like the show, and it's really is the Flag Smashers are just not working for me. And I feel like every time we cut to the Flag Smashers,
their story was
I know, and I feel like it's just, and I just feel like it's like everything that's interesting, suddenly the pacing just stalls when it goes to them, and I don't care. And here's my other final pet peeve I'm going to just mention. There's a scene where the Flag Smashers take over like the UN or whatever. And when they take over the lighting. All the lighting turns red. And I don't know why that bothered me, but I was like, why is there bad guy invader lighting at the UN?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
there's
Isn't
bad
that,
guys.
like-
Everything turned, the lights all turned red. I'm like, why is that a thing? I don't know why that bothered me so
It's a thing because when all the power goes out, those are the backup lights so that people can escape.
Oh, it just seemed to me
Isn't
it was
that
like,
what that
okay,
is?
that makes more sense. Thank you. Okay, at least you gave me some kind of explanation. It really just seemed like, we're the Flag Smashers and we set up all this red lighting because now we've taken over.
No, it's like emergency lighting. I don't know. I completely disagree with you. I thought this episode followed the formula of like they have major conflict with John Walker. It's brutal. There's a brutal fallout
Yes.
from that confrontation. So Sam and Bucky retreat to collect themselves because Sam now has to step up and take on these Flag Smashers as Captain America. But he needs these personal moments. He needs to go back home and rebuild the boat. He needs to train. He needs to talk to Isaiah Bradley. Like all these moments of collection before he has to really take the mantle, the thing he's terrified to do. I thought it was great.
And that's well,
Like,
I will
thought
say
that
I loved
hero's
all of that,
journey
but every
formula
time
was
it cut
great.
to something else, I was done. And I was great for the hero's journey until it got to the weird Rocky montage. And I was like, he was already throwing and bouncing the shield and then catching it in a whole long scene with
Yeah,
Bucky.
right? Wasn't that
and
weird?
now we have a montage of him trying to do it. And clearly, if you have to
like,
practice
missing.
to do it, then someone's being beheaded. Someone was like one of those kids was accidentally beheaded while he was practicing that. That was way too dangerous.
Oh, his nephews. I love, though, his nephews going, Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam. I'm like, oof, I love it. I love that. Uncle Sam. Captain America. I thought it was great. I thought all of it was great. I love the down home moments. I love his sister so much. I love his relationship with Bucky. I love it all.
I loved the out of nowhere cameo that was supposed to be
Oh my God. All
for
right, can we
Black
talk about
Widow.
this?
It was supposed to be, so apparently she's
Yes.
in Black Widow.
We were supposed to already know who this character was because we were supposed to see Black Widow first, but we didn't. And instead here, we get the introduction of a classic S.H.I.E.L.D. character, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine,
AKA Elaine
played by
Bennis.
none other
AKA
than
the old
Julia
Christine.
fucking Louis Dreyfus. Like
AKA Veep. Wait, what's her name in Veep? What's her... Fuck, I can't think of what her...
Selena Meyer.
Myers.
I cannot believe they kept this a secret.
I know, right?
I'm so talk about being spoiled or talk about knowing something before seeing it. I went on Twitter when I woke up forgetting it was Friday and I wasn't supposed to be on Twitter because I didn't want to see any Falcon spoilers. And I see two trending topics, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Madam Hydra. And I'm like, well, fuck. But also, oh my God.
That's the joy of watching it at midnight.
I did see my friend, though. My friend did not know. And I got to see his reaction. And he just like slowly was like, what the fuck?
And plus just playing,
So
I mean,
good.
she basically is Selena Myers.
She's Selena
Which
Meyer.
I'm
Like
like,
the next big antagonist influence across the Marvel Cinematic Universe is essentially going to be
That's
Selena
where
Meyer,
for-
and I
for
couldn't
me-
be happier.
I mean, this is the thing for me. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It needs to make Emily Vandekamp, whatever her name is. It needs to make her the power broker. It needs to make Selena Myers the head of the Flag Smashers, and then I'll be down with this. Because right now the Flag Smashers are not interesting me, but Selena Meyer and Revenge Lady, they are interesting me. And I want...
Oh, I'll do you one better. Power Broker works for Selena
Yes.
Meyer. And Selena Meyer is the head of the new Hydra.
Yes. I want all of that. And let's just kill all of the flag
you're getting
and
it.
kill all of the Flag Smasher people.
You're getting
kill
it.
That,
The Flag Smashers are nothing.
kill that redheaded bitch. I'm done with her. She's boring. I don't care. And get to the good stuff.
Yeah, she's just gonna be like.
How
the
many
thing
more
that teaches
episodes
Sam,
are
like,
there of this?
One.
Wait,
She's gonna
what?
be the
There's
thing
only
that
one
teaches
episode
Sam.
left?
Yeah, he was getting ready for the big final battle
fuck.
at the end of the last episode.
I feel like it's now just starting to like get good.
She's the one who's going to teach Sam of like, just because you're doing something for the right cause doesn't mean you're right. Like that'll be her purpose, and then boom, we're done with you.
I wonder if this will get a second season. This seems like something that would easily have a second season.
Would
Like
love
WandaVision, that's going to be harder to do a second season of.
that. Yeah, exactly.
And then how long do we have
Yeah.
to wait till Loki?
Oh, like all through May.
Oh, shit.
I know.
No, Marvel, no. When is What If?
May's
when's
gonna
What If coming out?
suck. Ooh, I don't
Marvel
know.
Black
July,
Mirror.
maybe? I can't wait for What If. The animation looks so good, not like Invincible.
Yeah. That's the other thing is like I have to have talks with my boyfriend who is a storyboard artist and an animation director, and it's like
Like when a character moves their head over to the side on that show, I'm like, that I saw all 3 frames of that character moving their
Well,
head.
yes, and that is a problem, but the other problem is things that I don't see. And then my boyfriend is just like, why is that a Dutch angle? Oh my God, why are you covering the shot that way? Oh my God, so you're going to pan. Oh my God, this is so cheap. That's how you're going to shoot that thing?
What the hell is a Dutch angle?
When you're not shooting the horizon straight, where you tilt it. Like where you tilt the camera, it's called a Dutch angle.
Oh.
And it's supposed to like add more. But he was just like, you're just doing all Dutch angles for no reason. That's the thing where then I'm like, honey, you need to stop. I was like, I know you hate it.
You're ruining
I know you hate
a
it.
thing I want to
like,
enjoy.
The worst was, I was like, I'm going to see X-Men Dark Phoenix, and it's going to be bad, but I want to see it. He's like, I'll come. And I'm like, you cannot say anything. 10 minutes in, he's like, this is really bad. I'm like, I know. You need to stop. 5 minutes later, like, this is so awful. I was like, you need to stop.
But in all fairness, it was Dark Phoenix, which is like so surprisingly bad.
No, I know, but I just kept being like, I want to watch it. We agree. I agree that it is bad, but like he has a
But it
thing where
was,
he
like,
can't watch
so much
something
worse than
bad
we
without
thought.
constantly like making sure everyone knows. Like
I
hate
hate that.
this.
I would have murdered him so long ago.
Oh. But next week,
that's great.
we are going to have a lot of X books to talk about. There's 3 X books coming out. And we'll briefly talk about Wolverine and Children of Adam.
One more thing about Falcon and the Winter
Yes.
Soldier is the Isaiah Bradley moment.
Oh, yes.
I did want a whole
I did too.
episode
I felt there needed to be...
showing
I think
it.
there needed to be a whole episode of it. Yeah.
Like they sure did do Isaiah Bradley be like, okay, let me explain the plot of the comic book I'm from to you.
Although there is a reason to not do that. And that is the controversy of the show Them on Amazon.
I heard it's so bad.
It's Lena Waithe?
Lena Waithe.
Apparently
She executive produced it. It's a different showrunner.
yes, but apparently people are trying to cancel her.
It's supposed to be very like not that the show's bad, like it just is incorrect.
But I do think, but that's from what I'm hearing, there are a lot of people complaining, being like, there's a point where you're actually exploiting Black suffering than educating people on Black suffering.
Yes.
And so there is a fine line of like, do we need to see a Black Captain America tortured for 30 years?
Right.
Do we need to see that?
No. Right.
So
I think that's the right call. Yeah, especially consider the brand. Like it's Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that they even did it.
But the fact, I will
is
say
great.
this, the fact that it is like we are actually going to talk about the fact that America was not comfortable with the idea of a black Captain America, that is what would really happen. And the fact that Bucky goes up to him afterwards and he's like, I never thought about like your hesitation being about
that
because
was
you're black.
key.
Me and Steve never thought about that, and I am sorry. And it's like, oh my God. Hello, everybody.
That.
This is how you do it. This is how you address white privilege.
I loved it. Of course, Bucky. Of course, my favorite. Like, of course, Bucky gets it right. Yes,
and he's like, interesting. And now I'm gonna fuck your sister.
Yeah. What Bucky knew, he's like, when Steve told me of his plan. So go back to that scene in Endgame where they're sending Steve back in time, and then old Steve shows up. Bucky knew the whole time that was going to happen. Love it.
So does that mean Steve Rogers knew that Isaiah was being tortured this whole time, and then just decided to live his life and not do anything about it?
No, he never knew about
it. All right,
Isaiah.
I just want to say that.
Bucky was the only one who knew.
Wait, so Bucky knew? Oh, but Bucky was on ice.
Bucky knew because he fought Isaiah.
Yeah,
in
he was
the Korean War.
He was all brainwashed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's a rich tapestry. How, like, I know I say this every time we talk about Marvel stuff, but, like, if you would have told me when I was watching Iron Man in 2008, like, pretty soon it's gonna get so deep. You're gonna have a show about Moon Knight. You're gonna have Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine show up as like a villain. I'm like, there's going to be an Ant-Man movie.
There's going to be whole fight scenes on Madripoor.
I just can't believe this. Yeah. I can't believe we have U.S. agent. Ew. He sure did put a police badge in that shield he made, by the way.
I'm surprised
Marvel's doing
surprised they didn't make it like a black, white, and blue. Like, the Blue Lives Matter.
Blue Lives Matter. Yeah.
Shield.
Oh, that'd be so great.
I do like the idea also of these incel assholes that are like Gamergate guys watching the show and being like, "Bro, stop talking about race." And Marvel's like, "No, we're not.
We are getting a black Captain America, and we are talking about
we're not going to stop talking about
that it is a black assholes. Captain America." Love it.
I want to talk really quick before we end about one last show.
Oh.
Because it is supernatural. It is full of fighting. And it's really, really gay. But it can't be explicitly gay. Because it's made in China. It is, if you want to go to Netflix, watch a show called The Untamed. And it is basically supernatural martial arts from it's everything's period. All the guys have long hair and the robes, and it's like a period piece. And everyone has magic, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like martial arts powers. And The Untamed was based off of a gay novel, and they had to de-gay it and just make them friends. And so now this sequel, it's a show called Word of Honor that is out now. And it's another book taking place in the same world about two other lovers. And it's basically two bad guys, an assassin and an evil lord of demons. And they meet and start falling in love, and it makes them decide to be good. But it's China, love. And they can't say we're having sex. They can't kiss. But this one, they're really because Untamed was so popular, China is just pushing out all of these gay romances, but they can't say gay. So it is kind of hilarious watching this Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where literally the guy is like, "Why are you following me around? Because you're so beautiful. You're going to open your heart to me. You're my soulmate." But then it's like, they're just friends. And I'm like, no. They're holding hands and saying, "You're beautiful and you're my soulmate and open your heart to me. And I want to spend the rest of my life wandering the world with you." It's gay. It's pretty gay. Anyway, it's called Word of Honor. And it's pretty fucking amazing. It's pretty good. And I just love watching these Chinese directors just pushing the boundary of like, let's see how far we go before the government can put the hammer down on us.
Yikes! That government does not mess around.
Well, yeah,
when it
there
comes to
was,
gay
yeah,
stuff.
well, they used to have just full-on gay series. And this was in 2016, a show called Addicted Heroin about two high school friends that enemies to lovers, fall in love, start having sex with each other. And it's like full-on kissing, sex, everything.
Okay.
It got so popular, it was the #1 show in China. And the government said, oh, no, 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 no. And before the last episode aired, they took it down and scrubbed it from the internet, all of Chinese internet. They canceled the show, and they banned the two actors from ever appearing together ever again.
Wow.
And now the two actors, the show is so famous, the two actors, one is a famous pop star and one is like a famous movie star in China. Like they're like super famous and everybody loved the show. But the government, it's so weird. Like the people don't give a shit. But the government is all weird about it. It's so strange. China, I don't understand you.
Ain't that always the
I don't
way?
understand you,
Yeah.
China.
Because governments are filled with people who have an opinion on how the world should be shaped. Otherwise, they wouldn't go into government. What do you think they want to do? Help people?
Oh God. Come on. I'm ready
All of it.
for I'm sick of planet Earth. I need the Terrigen Mist Never's boat to come and sprinkle some of their Never dust on me, and I'm gonna make everything right.
Yeah, and with my luck, though, I'll turn into like a fish person.
I know, I'll just probably have like I just like fart more. Like and then I'll be like, oh damn it.
Oh, I farted again.
Oh, do your farts have powers? No.
No, they're just frequent. Is frequent a power?
Well,
Oh, dear
well,
Lord.
more. I think that's a good way. Let's end it on farts.
Okay, perfect. So many of my dates ended that way. Thank you all so much. Listen, we know the name of the show is Comic Book Queers Legacy. We'll talk about comics again
Hey,
next
we
week.
were
Get
talking about
off
comic book
our
characters.
ass.
I mean, they were just on live action.
Wait, oh my God, I totally forgot to tell you. Speaking of comic book characters, we never brought up the fact that Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, this is not the first time an actress has played her on TV.
Oh, shit.
In the 1990s, there was a Nick Fury TV movie on Fox, the same Fox that brought you the Generation X TV movie around the same time, Nick Fury, played by David Hasselhoff, co-starring Lisa Rinna of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as Contessa. Just a fun fact to end this show
Oh
on.
my God, Lisa Rinna.
Watch it. Watch it on YouTube. I remember her. What soap opera was she
Days
on?
of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives.
Billy. I used to watch Days of Our Lives too.
She was Billy.
I watched all of that shit. She was the conniving one. She was always trying to break up Carrie and
Yeah.
I forget the hot guy that played the
I
guy.
forget.
Anyway.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening to Comic Book Queer's Legacy. Listen, we have a warning for you. Actually, it's a blessing. If you read comics, well, my friends, that makes you queer. You've now been blessed.
Bye.
Bye.